Why is it so awkward? Why you don't say hello?
Sorry. Hello.
What are we doing?
What are we doing today? We are ranking all the Stonemaier games.
That's not all of them. We don't have Between Two Cities, and we don't have My Little Scythe.
Yes.
They will be really nicely here on that pyramid if it was like this. Right?
Yes.
We've got that.
However, we have to have
that's
all
quite
of
a
these,
lot.
which is most of them.
Yep.
And we have played My Little Scythe twice.
Yep.
And Between Two Cities, well, we've got Between Two Castles, and we've watched quite a few videos on Between Two Cities, so we have a pretty good feel for what that game is and how it would play. But there's just a little disclaimer in there.
Yeah. And most of those games, apart from obviously the castle game, we played 2 players mostly, and maybe Scythe not, because obviously that doesn't really. But yeah. Okay. So what we did, I've done my ranking, he's done his ranking, and we put them together to make this main one. But at the bottom there will be written who ranked that game what, so we sort of know. And at the end there's going to be the whole list. You see who's right, who's wrong.
Yeah,
I'm right.
It's quite good. There are 10 Stonemaier games. It's a top 10 list.
Yeah.
So this is fairly comprehensive for now, as of.
But I'm wearing the Stonemaier t-shirt, probably can't see it. And there is 3 more symbols here for the 3 upcoming games, which is a pyramid,
there's a compass and a cape. It's maybe a superhero game, an exploration game, and like a ancient history game. Geometry game. Anyway,
right. We've got 10 games, and
we're going to start with the worst.
Let's just obviously start with the worst. So number 10 is Euphoria.
Yeah. So this is an older one. I think it was released it's like 2014 or something. Yeah. It plays 1 to 6, like a lot of his games, and it has some really nice custom dice. It has
the components are so nice, and the dice trays.
Loads of great wooden components, wooden little oranges and lightning bolts and water droplets.
And that's about that.
Really nice artwork on the board. Quite like the theme about kind of a dystopian future with different factions all trying to vie to become the lead faction. But the gameplay itself, it's
really boring.
Just didn't have.
There is no theme in this. Like, there's great idea for a theme, and then you're playing and you're only like thinking, okay, so I have a 5, so I can go there to get this, so then go there to get this, so then go there to get a point, or whatever. It's like the star thing.
Yeah,
okay.
It feels quite mechanical. I think that's the reason why we don't like it. And also, I don't think it plays very well at 2 players at all.
No.
And we've only ever played it at 2. So maybe people who play with more players might enjoy it more. But for us, for a 2-player game, it's not the best. Unfortunately, we've got to start somewhere. And we're starting at the bottom.
Right, number 9.
Number 9.
The newest addition to our collection.
This guy.
Pendulum.
Yes. Well, we differ on this. This was your number 10. This is your.
That's my number 10. That's your number 6.
Yeah, so we differ quite a bit on this.
There's a big difference. I just can't. I just can't push myself to like it. I don't like the components.
What? The plastic.
The plastic. I know there is a reason behind it, right? I know that this is all about recycling and blah. Okay, fine. I get it. It's great. I don't like them. They're not nice. This is my least favorite part of Tapestry as well, the plastic components. So I don't like the components. I love the art on the box. I like the art on the little boards and things. It's all fine, you know. But like looking at this, I'm thinking, oh my god, this is gonna be some sort of great game. And it's just so boring. For me.
It's quite mechanical. It doesn't really feel like you're actually doing what you're supposed to be doing in the game, which is vying for control of power in the region and don't know. I'm just moving cubes around, getting cubes to convert into other things to allow me to buy other things, but what I quite like about this game, the sound timer thing, I think is quite unique. And the reason why it's called Pendulum is because the sound timers will be on one side of these actions, locking off those, allowing you to do them, and then when it runs out, you flip it over to the other one, allowing you to do those actions and freeing up your workers to then go elsewhere. So it's about trying to plan ahead, like, okay, right, well, I'm going to be getting this, which will allow me to get this. So I need to put them there, and I've been waiting for that green sun to, I need to keep an eye on that, because I need to make sure I put my worker there too, so I get this. And so I quite like that kind of planning out your turn ahead and trying to maximise your efficiency. But it's very
I just found I'm playing it, I glanced on his board and I think, right, I can't win. And that's it. And for me, this is it. If I can't win the game, and this is a competitive game, for co-op, it's fine, because we can still play. For competitive game, nah. If I can't win, I don't play.
Yeah, if it can become quite quickly apparent if someone's winning or not, because there's not really a hidden scoring.
Yeah.
So,
anyway,
that's low down. Well, we've got number 8.
Number 8 is Between Two Cities.
Between Two Cities. We haven't played this one, but we've got Between Two Castles, which we really like. But looking at the components and videos of Between Two Cities,
it's not pretty.
It's not pretty. No, it looks quite like. The actual buildings themselves look quite dull. Like there's no bright colours.
You know the game Capital, the city builder. That is.
They got bright
very
colours
similar, I think. And got bright colours. And it's all really easy to tell what's what. I don't know. I just feel like if I had these two in front of me, just lay down on a table, I would go for Capital.
Yeah.
Just because it's like more out
there. The unique thing about Between Two Cities is what I really like about Between Two Castles.
You're building two.
Is you're playing cooperatively with the person to your left and your right, but at the end of the game,
there's only one winner.
There's only one winner. I think that's quite a unique thing. I've not seen that in many games, and so Between Two Cities gets a bit of a bump for that because I quite like that mechanism. But the game itself just looks a bit drab.
Yeah.
But we haven't played it, so take our opinion on that one with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
But we'll move on now.
Number 7 is it?
Yeah.
Charterstone. Charterstone. The big white pretty box. Beautiful box. Beautiful artwork. Great components. And then yet I just don't feel it.
I really enjoyed playing it initially. Well, the first.
But again,
the first mission. Yeah, the first mission was not that great because it's so limited.
Yeah. And
playing so many more complicated games, it's like, this doesn't feel that interesting. As you started unlocking things and pulling off stickers and sticking things and getting new cards and unlocking new boxes with components in, it's getting more exciting. Oh yeah, what do we get to open now? Oh, look at this sticker, or these new rules. And that was quite exciting for a few games, and then just the core game itself just didn't feel that interesting.
Exactly.
And I think we got to like mission 8 or 9 before we kind of just lost all enthusiasm for the game, and we just decided to
put it away.
We just weren't enjoying it. There are other games we prefer to play than that one.
So like for this sort of game, which is a legacy game, stickers and things, My City is, oh my god,
I mean, it doesn't have the cutesy artwork.
It doesn't.
And kind of the whimsy.
It's very simplified. It's like my first legacy game, My City.
Yeah, actually, it's not much cheaper because Charterstone you can pick up pretty cheap now because no one was buying it.
Yeah, well, there you go. Let's speak for itself.
Oh, one good thing about Charterstone though, the coins. It comes with the big, thick metal coins, which then you could just use for any game that has just a low.
That's why we got not selling it, because we want to keep the coins.
Great, yeah.
And I got all the little components for like prototypes and stuff.
If you make your own prototype games and stuff, Charterstone is great because it comes with a big board. It comes with loads of tokens, different meeples, coins, loads of stuff that you can make your own game out of. Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah. Number 6 is My Little Scythe.
My Little Scythe, yeah.
I really liked it. Do you know what? If I was a kid, I'll be playing this all the time.
Yes, my 10-year-old self would love that game.
It's cute. It's a good game. Like, it's like Scythe. It's a good game, but just cute and simple.
Yeah, it does what it says on the tin. basically make Scythe that you could play with your kids.
Yeah.
But playing it 2-player, just us two.
Well, we didn't. Yeah, we played it once, but then we played 5 players, didn't we?
We played 5 players, and that was okay. But for me, it just felt a bit too simplified for our tastes.
Yeah, after playing Scythe, obviously, like if your favourite game is Gloomhaven, you're not gonna say that My Little Scythe is the best game ever.
So I mean, just personally, I don't have a desire to want to play it, although it looks really nice.
But if you had children aged 10, which is obviously, I mean, impossible.
Yeah.
And they say, "Why do you want to play My Little Scythe, or do you want to play Uno?"
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious, you know.
Yeah. So.
It's got cute little meeples and some great components, and it's really cute. And this is fan made, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
This fan made game. I like that about that. Someone's just made a game and they said, "Right, great idea."
Yeah, a lot of props for it, but it just wasn't for me.
Number 5.
5. What's number 5?
Between Two Castles of Mad King Ludwig. Possibly the longest name of a game ever.
Yeah. I really like Between Two Castles. No,
you really like the Castles of
Mad King Ludwig. That was one of the games we got really early on. Probably one of the first games we got when we were just starting to get into the hobby again. And really like that. The problem with it was, or we played many games, is the whole I cut, you choose mechanism of sorting out. That really slowed the game down a lot. Because someone would be agonising over, okay, I don't want to make that one too cheap because he really wants that one.
But if I don't make it cheap, they're not going to buy it, and then many times they got screwed over because I made things too expensive.
The actual building of the castles
was
and
great.
The different colour rooms and trying to make sure things are connected to each other to maximise your points, I really love that, but it was too slow. This basically does the same thing.
So much quicker.
That whole thing of getting these rooms need to be next to these rooms, and you need to get these to maximise your points. But it plays in half an hour, and it plays up to 7 players, and it has that thing of you're cooperating with the person on your left to build a castle with them, and the person on your right to build a castle with them. It feels like a co-op almost, but then you get to the end of it,
and it's like, ha, screwed you.
You score for your lowest points worth city, so you want to make sure both cities are good. So I just think it's a really unique game, and it's a game that anyone who's played the castle game, I can crack this out and teach them the rules like
5
that,
minutes,
because all the scoring bonuses and stuff is very intuitive. It's just the same as the other one. So really like that one.
Number 4.
Right, reaching the top end.
Which is ironically at the very bottom. It's Tapestry.
Oh, Tapestry, yes.
Tapestry. I really wanted to get Tapestry and pre-ordered it like as soon as it got out on a website, waiting for it. Came home. So what they said is Tapestry. It's got little like a small title. It's Tapestry, the board with round edges. Like that's what they said. The rounded edges.
Yeah, that's quite cool actually.
That's really cool. So we opened the box and it's just wow. Like it's a great board. It's a great component. Maybe apart from the plastic ones, great artwork. It's just great. Like, it looks so good on a table.
Quite pricey because you think, like, do you really need all those big, chunky buildings? Like, it probably adds a lot to the cost of the game. But if it didn't have those, if it just had polyomino tiles, then it would just be like any other.
Yeah, it wouldn't look as good at all.
It wouldn't have that wow factor.
So, in Tapestry, you're sort of supposed to be leading a civilization to conquer all. Like you want to be either the best scientist or the best, I don't know, you want to be the first in space or something. You're just doing all those things that you normally, like, this is what happens, like people are racing to do these things, but in here it's all sort of backwards because you can't have a rocket before having a wheel, which is ridiculous. So the technology cards are not sorted into like age 1 technologies, 2, 3s like other civilization games. It's just all there. There is ages, but like
and it's not restricted to our world. It's kind of like its own made up alternative world. A lot of people don't like it because it feels quite random and it feels kind of unbalanced in a way. So your faction seems much more useful and powerful than my faction. Which is kind of true, Although
But they've nerfed some actions, haven't they?
they've done an update. Basically, the ones that were consistently winning, doing well, they've nerfed them a little bit, and the ones that were consistently losing, they've given them a bit of a boost. Either they start with more points or they start with more resources. It's a bit of an artificial way of balancing it, but I mean, it's the simplest way to do it.
Yeah.
But I just like it because of the variety. There's so many different. Each faction has a different thing that it can do that makes it feel fresh. So every time you play, I play with a different faction. Like, ooh, this time I'm in this faction. So what am I going to do?
You know, the expansion game, there's like millions more factions in there as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to be.
I like the forward planning aspect of like, right, going up on this track. So I want to get to here on this track to get this. So then when I go up on this track, because I've got that, will allow me to do this. And
See, I never do that.
I like all that kind of stuff.
I just go for space all the time.
Space!
So yeah. Maybe that's why I lose. Anyway, the top 3 now.
Oh, top 3.
Number 3 is the game that fell on Matt's head once.
Yeah, I got a dent in it because it fell off the top shelf onto my head and then onto a table corner.
Yep. Anyway.
This is why you don't put the heavy games on the top of the shelf.
Yes. So Scythe. Scythe is like a phenomenon.
It was our first Stonemaier game.
It was our first Stonemaier game. It's big, like in a world, like looking at like different board game groups and stuff. Everybody must have heard about Scythe by now.
Yeah.
And there is a reason behind it, because it is a very weird, distinct game. Like you've got, it's 3.5x, not a 4x, as they say, because there is no something in there. Like there is not enough combat or something. There is something about it that they say it's not a 4x, because we don't really do all those things. But anyway, so you have this massive board of Europe. It's not Europe.
Alternative
1920 whatever Europe.
Yeah.
And you've got your armies of different countries. So obviously I play Poland, obviously. But yeah, and you've got mechs.
Mechs, yeah. I mean, mechs is the only combat unit other than your hero.
Yeah.
Because your workers are just that, workers. So I quite like the fact that it's not a full-on war combat game fighting each other. You can win in it without actually fighting anyone. It's quite difficult because to finish the game you need those 6 stars, and 2 of those stars you can get just from winning one combat. One combat to get 1 star, so that could really help you out just to win.
I don't think I've ever won a combat in this game.
So I mean, you could avoid combat just building up your military strength the whole game, and then
if someone attacks you,
attack a few people, get those last 2 stars. I really this game is kind of like an experience for me. Like, get a load of people around the table. Like I would like to play with a full 4 or 5 players. I think the game really feels like an event. Like, you get everyone over and we're all going to play this big game. It's going to last like 2 hours and it's going to be epic. And it moves pretty quickly.
It does. Once people, if people know what they do and know how to play the faction, and there is not like 7 questions every minute, then it goes really quickly.
Because usually what you want to do on your next turn before your next turn. And if you're waiting for other people, okay, when it gets to my turn, I'm just going to produce. Yeah. And it gets to your turn, I'm going to produce. I'm going to get that and that. My turn's over, your turn. And so it moves pretty quick. It moves at a nice pace. Yeah. So I quite like that. Yeah. The reason why it's probably got dinged for you, especially, you really don't like the end game.
So I like when we play it because there's obviously different ways of playing it with the cards and scenarios. Yeah. I like playing with the rounds when you have like 20 rounds or something.
The 20 round option.
And then everyone's got the same amount of rounds. You can plan ahead, because in the normal version, when someone places a 6 star, the game just ends.
Boom! It's end. No, right? We do one more round the table.
Yeah, none of that. Just ends. And if I have, and you sort of can't really predict who's gonna put that last star, because people can put 2 stars in one go if they've got like the objective
in their hand that you've forgotten they haven't even got their objective star yet. No.
And it's like, so I'm like, okay, so I need to do this next round, and I'm gonna get my 6th star, and I'm gonna finish the game. But if someone goes, I win the combat, that was my objective, boom, 2 stars, the game ends, and I just want to flip the table, because this whole planning and this build-up just goes out the window.
It's made worse by the fact that you get points for how many territories you control at the end.
Yeah.
So if all your power is concentrated on a few tiles, ready to do your big explosion across the board, but someone ends it, you're not going to get many points because you're only on a few tiles. So
I really hate that.
on your turn, you're going to spread out over the whole board to help.
I know people like about the game, which is okay, fine. I get it. I hate it. Yeah. I play the turn-based anytime. Round weather based, but yeah. But then there is it's on Steam as an app and it works really well. It's really well done. And then there is Iron Harvest, which is like
haven't played that yet. We've got it.
Video game sort of thing when you it's like what is it called? The one that
it's set in the same universe. It's a top-down like real-time strategy.
Yeah,
game.
that one. Yeah.
So yeah, I love side, I like the artwork, I like the experience. The only thing is that little thing can be quite annoying.
But just what? Not. I mean, for me, you
just a
you
small thing. That's why it's not
problems with it as much as I.
That's why it's not one or two for us combined.
Yeah. Number 2 is Viticulture,
which was your number 1.
Which was my number 1. Your number 3. No, you're number 3. Yeah.
Number 3. Yeah.
I love Viticulture. It's a long game. It's not a game for everybody. It's a game that lots of people got disappointed by in Poland because it just came out, and I was hyping it hard because I love this game. I was like, oh my god, Viticulture and expansion. I forgot that expansion.
Yes, we only played it the base game a couple of times and quite liked it.
But then when Tuscany came out,
the Tuscany put it right into the upper.
Tuscany is one of the best expansions there are ever because it makes this game so much better.
I just like the fact there are 4 seasons in Tuscany and that you're trying to plan ahead for what you're going to do in each season. So some years you might not even do anything in one of the seasons.
Yeah.
Right now I'm going to focus on the winter stuff because I've got everything else set up. And
Viticulture, by the way, is about making wine because we haven't mentioned it.
Yes, sorry. Which can put some people off. Some people don't like they think that sounds really boring.
It's not. I really like it. It's like, oh, you have to build the medium cellar to then put your wine in because otherwise your wine will not age. It's stupid. Like, it's not thematic at all. It's like, stop aging because you haven't got space for it. I'm like, okay, just build a little thing.
Yeah.
Then to sell it, you get the orders and stuff. Yeah, it is a bit random with what cards you draw.
Yeah.
But Tuscany fixes it because you can get rid of cards that you don't want to get points.
Yes, you can convert cards into other useful things.
Whilst in the Viticulture, you just got stuck with it. You have bad cards, you've got bad cards.
But I think a lot of people's main criticism of it, especially like heavy Euro gamers, is that the cards are just too swingy.
Yeah.
And you could have a really well done strategy, but someone could get a card. It's just awesome for them. And they're like, oh, this card's awesome, and do something. I don't mind that. I quite like the random things that happen. It keeps it exciting. It feels quite good to play a card that is really good. Like, wow, this card's awesome. Play it. So it doesn't really bother me as much. I think the game does look a little drab now.
Yeah.
It's a bit brown and washed out, and
there is an app as well.
The app is not as good.
Also to review, and I did a little bit thing about it, but it's not great.
I think it does everything it needs to do, but it just feels a little bit clunky. Maybe it was just the device you're playing it on, but it didn't
on a
feel
smartphone. It works alright.
I've played apps that feel very kind of swish and just like very fluid, and there's no stuttering or kind of like delays.
Yeah. This one is a bit slow, but yeah, I mean, I just know what to say now. I just got lost. It's a good game. It's a good game.
Brings us on to our number 1, which people might be quite mad about.
Yes, this game has won every single award that there is.
Yeah, and it is kind of overhyped a bit. Like it's so popular.
Everyone's talking about it, and everyone is like, either oh my god, Wingspan, get Wingspan, but then on this, people are like, oh my god, game about but. It is a good game.
I really like it. I can't.
It's a family weight game, right? This is not a super heavy Euro. This is not a war game. This is not a 7 hours Twilight Imperium game. It's a family weight game.
I mean, But although it's kind of family weight, it's got enough depth to it that people want to play it again and do different things. And every time you play it, it feels a little bit different.
Because it's random.
Yeah, I've played this with loads of people who never play board games, and they have all loved it, and they want to know when we next can meet up and play Wingspan again, even though they don't play board games, because they really enjoyed playing it.
It's just placing the birds and laying the eggs, and it's all really pretty, and I just like, I don't know, like there is something, there's a phenomenon about this game as well, that when it came out, the Wingspan group on Facebook is now not only about the game, it's just about birds.
Let's talk about birds.
It's just people just talking about birds. How random is that? Like, you know, I've seen this bird, and this bird should be the expansion, and you know, like, it is so.
I must say, the friends I was talking about who I played this with, they're my friends from work who are ecologists, so they like birds anyway, so that probably helped draw them in.
You implying that every ecologist likes birds?
Well, I mean, I'm an ecologist. I'm not massive on birds, but it draws people in because people recognise certain birds, especially now we've got the European expansion.
Yeah.
We recognise all the European birds. So like, oh yeah, it's that bird, that's that bird, and I quite like the fact under every bird there's a little fact about that bird. That just is so. I'm learning as I'm playing.
I like that we have like there's cards that we know that are better, like the crows or whatever they are.
The crows are a bit OP, yeah.
And they're the cards that we absolutely hate, because if you have an owl or something that goes hunting, and then it goes the giant duck, and this is the duck that's like 200 kilos or something. You know?
Messingo or something.
But yeah, it's just it's hilarious. I love this game. It's just so, it's got everything I want from a game. It's pretty. It's quick. It's not mean, which I like, because I don't like mean games as much, and it was supposed to be mean. There was supposed to be.
There are a couple of meanish cards in the expansion.
In the expansion, yeah.
That steal.
But they steal. It's not like they kill your birds, which they weren't meant to be doing in the first place. They were designing in the way they can kill off each other's birds, which then I would not play probably. But for what it is.
And also, for a 2-player experience, it is definitely the best of all these games.
Oh yeah.
Because we can play a game of Wingspan in half an hour, including setup.
Yeah.
So I would never refuse a game of Wingspan, and whenever you ask what do you want to play,
there's always Wingspan.
I almost have Wingspan in there, because I always I can't think. I've never had any bad games of it.
I did have.
You've had a
bad games when you get very random cards. None of your objectives line up with your cards. None of the cards out there that are available to buy, you want them. And if there is one, it's not your turn, and someone else buys it, and it's just like a bit meh. But I still enjoy it because it's pretty, and there's eggs. And we have little 3D printed bird houses instead of the counter tokens. We've got little nests for the eggs. So yeah, we've pimped it out a little bit. But yeah.
There we go.
That's it. That's a top 10 Stonemaier games.
Hopefully the next game is higher up on the list than Pendulum. But overall, it's probably our favourite publisher designer, because look how many games we've got of this publisher.
Hello. You know these boxes are shallow, right?
It's Pebble approved. I think we should probably end the video here.
Yes.
Goodbye from us and goodbye from Pebble.
Bye!